I went to pray alone in my church at night, but something was already kneeling behind the altar. I've been a priest for 11 years. I've blessed houses, comforted grieving families, and stood beside deathbeds. I've seen what grief does to a person, what guilt can twist someone into, but I never believed evil could physically linger in a place until that night. This isn't a sermon. This isn't a parable. This is a confession. The night it happened. It was just after 2:45 a.m. when I returned to the church. I couldn't sleep, and when that happens, I go to pray. The sanctuary is usually comforting at night, silent, still, peaceful. But when I unlocked the door, the air felt wrong, heavy, like the darkness had weight. The lights flickered when I switched them on, which wasn't unusual for an old building, but the silence that followed wasn't the silence I knew. It felt like someone had stopped talking the very moment I walked in. Still, I tried to ignore it. I walked down the aisle toward the altar, knelt, and closed my eyes. A moment later, I heard it. A soft thud, like someone kneeling behind me. I didn't move at first. Churches creak, after all. Old wood, old stone. But then came the whisper. Not in Latin, not in English, not in any language I recognized. It slithered through the room, low, breathy, almost curious. I turned around. Nothing. Just empty pews and shadows. But the whisper didn't stop. It just moved. Now it was coming from behind the altar. The figure kneeling behind the altar. My instinct was to leave, immediately. But I couldn't. There's this pressure, this duty, that makes you confront darkness, not walk away from it. "Who's there?" I called out. The whispering went silent. And then, someone answered me. But it wasn't a human voice. It came from everywhere and nowhere. A layered voice, childlike, old, male, female, overlapping like dozens, speaking the same sentence out of sync. "You're late." I froze. Slowly, a figure rose from behind the altar, or rather, unfolded, limbs too long, head tilted wrong, like it was trying to imitate standing but hadn't quite learned how. It stepped into view. Its skin was stretched thin, almost translucent in the flickering lights, and its mouth, God help me, looked like a trembling smile carved into its face. "Pray with me," it whispered. I tried to run, but the church wouldn't let me. I bolted for the exit, but halfway down the aisle, the doors slammed shut, hard enough to shake the windows. The creature didn't chase. It didn't need to. It just started praying. Not loudly, not softly, but in that same impossible language, each word vibrating through the floorboards, through the pews, through my bones. The lights above me exploded one by one as its voice grew deeper, more voices joining it, overlapping until it sounded like a crowd chanting in the dark. And then, silence. When I turned back, the figure was gone. Just a scorch mark on the floor where it had knelt. The doors opened by themselves. I didn't look back when I ran out. Since that night, I've refused to pray alone in that church ever again.